Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lights Out League Racing, Season 30, Season Finale. It's been a long while. It's a belated finale. We did miss last week and it couldn't have been helped. I do apologise. But we've still got one or two things to play for. We do know that we have crowned champions. Callum's claimed the Div 1 and the Platinum Championship. And with Benedict taking the Elite title home. But we've got constructors up for grabs. It's looking like Red Bull, our favourite, considering the McLaren representatives are missing, excuse me. But it's going to be a fun one. We've got 13 on the grid, but we're going to get potentially one or two more added in. I'll just send Casimir another one who's be joining a bit later, and I think we might get another Div 2 boy. Yeah, bit of a poor showing for the Div 1 lads for the final race, but there's Champions League and all that. But I'm sure these guys will put a great show on for us. One or two making their league debut today. We've got Senna filling in the Aston Martin for Gary. Bumper Ben and Timo both in the Saubers. And then for the likes of AJ, Hot Steppers join us once again. And then you'll see a bunch of Div 2 boys, which you will remember if you've seen them before. One of them being Regan McKinnon, who's going to be on the hot lap for the first time in this qualifying session as he goes down the start-finish straight. DRS open. No DRS on the next game, hopefully. Round turn 1, go as wide as possible to get good rotation into the corner. Avoid the curves as much as possible. Go around the long right-hander of turn 3. It's very difficult to keep control of the car. Turn 4, an opportunity for late braking overtaking. As we approach turn 5, downhill braking zone, a long left-handing hairpin as we go back downhill. Approaching turn 7, a difficult corner where you've got to rotate your car in, but keep your throttle going as you climb back uphill. Round turn 9, high G-force, right-hander again as your DRS is open. Get a slipstream off the car in front, unless you, not this one, you're going to collide with it. Turn 10, good overtaking opportunity again. Round to turn 11 and 12, smooth rotation to end the lap as we approach turn 13, where you're going to set yourself up for the final corner. A bit oversteer from Regan McKinnon, flat out around the final corner. Turn 14, open up the DRS and cross the line with the 112.8, which his teammate 112.2 for today takes provisional pole. Benedict joining him on the front row, of course, has a championship title. Capsock, who tried to take him down to the wire, put up a good fight. It's currently P3. Hot Stepper, good evening. Join us in chat as well, watching the stream and racing. You're crazy, man. You're crazy. Good evening, D Singh Racing, who you'll see as well. Join us in Div 2. Benja in the Williams P6 with a 13.9. As we have Timo. Looks like he's going to be getting a bit of a slipstream down the start, finish straight to his teammate. He's come to the end of his first flying lap as Catamese has joined us. Across the line, P6 for the Sauber. Senna in the Aston Martin up to P4. The 12.7, very similar pace to Jack Daniels, if I do believe. Linazukan teamed up with Caps Lock today. Let's bail out of his first lap. Doing a lap on the Inters. It's not raining yet. Crazy man. Jack Daniels, favourite for pole. He's got himself on the podium a couple of times. Oh, it looked like it invalidated there. He went a little bit wide, but the game's been nice. 112.1. So only a tenth and a half ahead of Brutus. It looks like it's going to be quite tight near that top end. 4/10 separating the top four as it stands. Newcastle lost 7-2, embarrassing. The English teams have been very embarrassing this season in the Champions League. Let's see what Bumper Car Ben can do. Can he bump himself up to P10? Oh my god. Guna getting some big, trying to get some big points for the Haas. Going off track, but I don't think he realises the car going past has already set a lap, but good awareness in qualifying. We've had it once or twice this season where cars have been validated. Hot stepper backing Bayern for the Champions League. I don't know. PSG are looking really strong again. And I don't think people hate PSG as much anymore without the them just going out and spending big on the Neymars and Mbappes and stuff. I think the fact that they've blooded through some youngsters now, they're actually deserving to get what they win in the Champions League. Still a Farmers League in Ligue 1, but yeah, I'd go PSG, still favourites. Let's keep an eye on Guna then as he starts his first flying lap. Mr. Saturday in Div 2 Guna. Some really good qualifying laps. And does struggle to maintain that pace during a race setting. Terry Red's lover doesn't like them because they're French. You're Frenchist. I bet you still eat French fries, you hypocrite. Carried a bit more speed through turn 7. He went very deep on turn 8. Struggled to keep his car on track. Round turn 10. And very wide again. Approaching the final couple of corners. Setting himself a time though. Not everybody can say that. Goes and crosses the line. Goes up to P6. Ahead of his Div 2 rival, Regan. Only 600ths between them. So keep an eye on Linazukan and Katamis, both setting their first flying lap. Both potentially saving themselves. Oh, snap of oversteer. Lost his back end from Linazukan. Managed to control the car. That'll cost him at least half a second. Goes around the final corner. Linazukan's deceivingly quick. So P8 for now. The only thing I eat is Terry's cock. Okay. The only thing you eat is Terry's orange. Terry's chocolate orange. His prostate. Brutus Beer on pole. 12 flat. Almost into the 111s. Looking like the one potentially to beat so far. I think Regan McKinnon needs inviting back in. He does. This cock isn't orange. Depends if he's washed it or not. There we go, Regan. Your invite is sent. Caps Lock's invalidated his lap. That's not good, is it? We'll keep an eye on Jax as he comes around turn 12. He's got a target to beat. And when he nails a lap, he does nail a lap. He's nailing it into the pits. Almost lost his wing. That could have been drama. Dan Morris going himself up to P6 then. As we see Timo now dialing himself in, getting himself settled on debut. And takes the current P7 spot. Let's keep an eye on Dan Morris. Done it. So let's keep an eye on Senna. Doesn't look like this is a quick lap at all, so he's going to be bailing out. He's made a mistake along the way. So currently P5. Let's check on Benedict. And he's not going to be improving either, so he'll be diving straight in the pits. Bumper cars on an out lap, as well as Magel joining us from Div 2. A bit of a step up, but getting himself warmed up for the main race for his division. This week's keep an eye on Hot Stepper, who's down 3 seconds. He went deep and there's no one there. Step on up. Hot step on up. Let's jump on. I think Dan doing another lap. Let's keep an eye on if he's going to improve as he comes round turn 9. In previous games, it used to be really hard to keep on track, and yeah, he's not going any quicker. So let's see what Magel can do. See if he can get himself. Oh, he's not going to improve doing that. He's cutting the grass. Yeah, he's not going to get a good time doing missions. So we'll keep an eye on Regan McKinnon, part of the duo with Terry Reds, winning the Div 2 Constructors. And I think they're in with a good shout of the overall as well. We've got a big gap on Red Bull, and with only one car in this race, and I think both cars are absent in the next race. It's highly likely V's car will take the overall championship as well, and it's well deserved. Oh, we got another one. DJ Khaled. We got Mr. Josh joining us, joining the fun. If he's online, where are you? There you are. Come on down. Get your Brucey bonus. Just slightly down on his time here. Regan McKinnon. Can he find any more time in this next few corners? He's down there. He's lost even more time now. Down a tenth and a half. He's going to struggle to improve through this final sector. Martello is getting on how he approaches the final corner, and he's straight in the pits as suspected. So let's keep an eye on Linazukun, who has found almost half a second, which will get him up to around P6, P7. Looks good. Smooth exit on traction out of turn 10. A little skittish round turn 12. Sets himself nicely, nice and wide, uses as much track as possible. Oh, I thought he'd gone off again. Goes P7, 12, 5, 6, 6. Just a couple of hundredths behind Dan Morris. A decent lap there for the Alpine. They're all going to struggle to get in and get a lap. Let's see if he's online. What's Katamise doing in the Ferrari? Oh, because Guna went in the Haas. It's fine. Katamise is a Haas representative. He's yet to set a time. But we do have Josh joining us. Where is Josh? I don't know either. I'm blind. I haven't got my glasses on. I can't see without my glasses. Oh. I can grab him though. If I take one hand off my penis, I can grab my glasses. Oh, that's much better. He's got his teammate just ahead of him. Does not want to get caught in that dirty air. Especially this middle sector. There's two cat. What are you on about? There's two catamies. Oh, that what? I think it was. Yeah, it was a glitch. I wondered where Josh was. I was questioning why Catamies was in the bloody Haas. In the Ferrari. Timo. P8 with 12.6. Eye on hot stepper. So we try and get Reg and McKinnon back in. He's in and out like the okie cokey. That's what it's all about. I can't, he's not online. I think he's disconnected. P12, 12.9. Alright, let's get back on track, shall we? Catamies, he's in the grass. He's in the gravel. He's now officially a rake as his teammate for today, who's down on his time. He actually ends up on his time with a 12.7. And what's going on there? Is it somebody in the pits? Somebody in the way? Decent racing. Something's glitching. I don't like it. Invalidation from Josh. So he tries to avoid cars as we're ending qualifying. Invalidation for bumper car. Benny's not going to improve. Let's check on the next Aston Martin. It's going to be Jack Daniels. Oh, he's found almost 2.5 tenths to jump up to pole position. He doesn't. 12.0. Oh, 400ths behind. What can Senna do? Senna stays P6. Benja will stay P5. Catslock P3. Brutus into the pits and looks like he will claim pole as Gunnar is not improving. So it's pole position for Brutus Beer. Jax did as much as he could and takes his first pole position of the season. And I know you'll say some of the big boys are not here, but you take what's given to you, and Brutus takes pole on the final race of the season and aims to claim the overall Constructors' Championship. Brutus on pole, 12 flat. Jax Daniels joins him on the front row. Capstock and Benedict just behind. Benja and Senna, P5 and P6. Dalmar 7th, Linazuke in 8th. 9 for Timo. And then going around off the top 10. Regan McKinnon, P11, which I will send you an invite very soon, mate. Stepper, P12 with Bumper Car Ben and Magel on row 7. Catamies, Josh just behind, and D Singh rounding off qualifying. Josh and D Singh unable to set a time after joining late. So we're just going to spend a couple of minutes to sort out the strategy If anyone else can invite Regan, because I'm unable to do it so far, that would be awesome. Now, this track is very harsh on the tyres. You see, it's slightly overcast and it's not prone to remaining dry here in Barcelona. So tyre wear, looking after your tyres is very important, especially going through turns 3 and 9. Your front left will get ripped to shreds. It is a standard 50% race. The last time we raced here, it was a no hards race, if I do remember, and it was a very tricky one, as it means more pit stops, which makes it better for us, watch for us, because of more uncertainty, but we'll still get that today, I'm sure. Last winners were Callum in Div 1 and Wesker, or Mr. Spin, when he was in Div 2 and just missed out on that Div 2 championship. Oh, a lovely bit of neck lube. Getting myself ready. Mother's Day weekend. Anyone that's knows Mother's Day weekend is one of the busiest days of the year. Absolutely mental. Busier than a one-armed clown making balloon animals. Oh, there all fucking day. At least we know we get back to the joy and love of F1. What does everyone think of the new regulations? The new cars? Are we enjoying the first couple of races? I think it's, I don't know, the first few laps were all good and then exciting. But then once Mercedes get ahead, it kind of goes a little bit flat. Let's see if that does work itself out as the season progresses. Matt says he's really enjoying it. It is different, and it's going to take time to for everybody to adjust and cars to gain their upgrades and all that sort of stuff, and drivers to get used to how they're using their overtake. Yeah, I agree. Undoubtedly close the gap as the season progresses. So who's on pole? Who's on the podium? Who's your race winner today? Let me know in the chat. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I have to say that because I get told off by Terry Reds, the boss. Then Azukin, if you press your X button, you'll be pushing my button, and I'll push you in front of a train. Hot Stepper's waiting for Kimi to take out Russell. Yeah, it depends how much they're allowed to race. I think if they're allowed to crack on, then let me see if I can get Regan in quickly. As they're getting led around by Brutus, and let's have a look at everyone's race strategy. So a few, Regan, Hot Stepper and Josh all on the softs. Whether that was Regan himself, I don't know. Some going on the long stint first. Jax Daniels, Lin Azukan, Magel, D Singh and Katamise, and the rest doing mediums, playing it safe. It'll be quite interesting to see all those different strategies play out. This track's been with us since 1991. The first Grand Prix win by Nigel Mansell, it of course was actually built for the Olympics in 92, but has been a stable since, and is used of course for testing prior to seasons, so drivers should know this track like the back of their hand. Around turn 9 and down the DRS straight. It's a 4.65 kilometre clockwise circuit, 14 corners, 8 to the right and 6 to the left, with the 2 DRS zones, one which we've just approached and the other down the 1 kilometre main straight, where we'll see plenty of overtakes, I'm sure. Matt reckons it's Jax, Benedict and Brutus top 3. That's going to be tasty. I'm not going to rule out Caps Lock. He's one that deserves a very good result as Brutus approaches his grid slot. Our 2 drivers potentially nervous on their first time out, being higher up than they used to. They'll be sweating like a gypsy with a mortgage. And wait for Teasing and Katamis to come round the final corner. Everyone's still quite bunched up. Well, we see Katamis be parked in the middle of the road like he's been doing for the last few races. Not a great angle, so we'll see where he parks. He's actually going in his grid slot for once. Oh no, there we go. He's always one to try and push the rules. As we wait for 3, 4, 5. It's lights out and away we go. It's a good launch off the line for the front 4. Broken away from Benja, and Caps Lock's already gained grounds on Jax, who's had a poor start. Linazukan's lost 3 places already, and Redkin right to the back, whether he's rejoined his car. It's unlikely so. Goona gaining 2 places in his Haas in the inside of turn 3. As we see, a couple of cars go very wide, unable to keep the car on the track. Katamis and Magel. Linazukan and Timo. Timo not having the best starts on debut. But everyone looking like they've made a very good start to the race. No contact. Bumper car Ben. He's giving me epilepsy. But not playing by name. If he is, he'll be banned. He won't be banned. We're not run by Hitler here. As it looks like an early overtake. Of course, DRS is not active until the second lap. As we see bump come Magel, Josh and Katamis all exchange positions at the back here. Apparently this game reeks. Smells apparently. Brutus staying at the front then, getting a good launch of time here, and Caps Lock have already pulled away. Jax's tyres have not come up to temperature yet, and he's got Senna, Benedict, Benja all the way down to Goona in P9. As we see Linazukan and Timo battling again for P10. And a great contest right at the start of this race. As we see Katamis, his setup isn't correct today. He can't keep it on track as Dan Morris. Dan Morris is on the grass. Just side by side here with Linazukan, who's on the inside of turn 7. Good overtake from the Alpine. Dan Morris just trying to resettle himself after going off the circuit. As we've lost Josh, who looks like he's gone off the track as well. Now on to P16. As this battle up front for Brutus and Caps Lock is hotting up. 2.5 seconds ahead now, and the Caps Lock should get a good dose of DRS. Japs Lock. Sounds like a prison in Asia. And Benedict gets past Jax Daniels up to P3. As Linazukan loses a couple of places to Timo and Dan Morris. Great overtake from both Debutant and Dan, reserving from Div 2. A good gaggle of cars from this second cluster, and it shows great community actually. Senna and Jax Daniels exchanging places. Maybe Jax just letting Senna loose as they're on alternate strategies, and Jax just struggling on these hard tyres for now. It should come good to him in a few laps time, but not the start that he would have liked. Just did not get the temperature in his tyres. Oh, little snap and lost the traction from Senna. Managed to keep his car going. But interesting to see if he's close enough to Benedict to get himself up to P3. Benedict, slightly better exit out of the final corner, but we'll have DRS as Brutus going back into the lead of the race. Senna takes a look, late look on Benedict. The side-by-side through the first corner. That's brilliant awareness, great racing, and Benedict holds off the challenge of the Aston Martin. We'll go and see Magel and Katamis on the inside of turn 3. That's brave. Oh, loses control of his car. Josh unwillingly collides with him. Then Zukin loses control of his car as well. He's off the track, cutting the grass. You know, you're not supposed to be on there. What are you doing, man? Now down to P16 for the Alpine Reserve. Good strength here from these two. Again, it's McLaren and Dan Morris. It looked like he'd gone deep at turn 9 and loses out to D Singh, who's now up to P10 in the Mercedes. Good drive here from Singh. I think he'll be well chuffed, even finishing this position. Up and down performance in Div 2. Looking very comfortable as it stands. There you go. And Dan Morris has lost his car again around the final corner. Don't think he was prepared with a setup, and the one he's using at the moment just does not have good stability in the rear end of his car. And finds himself with Linus Zukin for company. I'll need to get himself set and adjust his setup ready for the Div 2 race. Following this at 9 PM UK. And those that are new to us, and like I said, we've got 1 or 2 new cars like Bumper Car Ben here. We do have 2 divisions. Currently Div 1 and then Div 2 following this one. As I said, at 9 PM UK. Each division is split into 2 tiers. This division we have the Platinum tier, which is your top 10 drivers, and the Elite tier, which is the next 10. And 1 car from each tier will make up a constructors team, which it looks like Red Bull will win as Caps Lock goes back into the lead of the race. These two leapfrogging every lap. Oh, I'm sure they'll do it right to the end. Jax Daniels retaking P4. He's become detached from his teammate now. Senna up a comfortable P3 and got a gap to the cars behind, and as they're battling, we'll extend that gap and we'll try and close on the front 2. Good run for Aston Martin. Some good points on the board. And I don't think we'll be hearing that in the regular season. This season. Especially with Lance Stroll. Pillar. As Katamis is off in the gravel again, coming round turn 4. How have you ended off off the track? Oh, that's because you're facing the wrong way. Went wide at turn 4. Timo and his Gunnar. Timo making the overtake down at turn 10. Brilliant overtake from the Sauber. Gunnar's fighting back though as Timo struggling for traction, but has the inside of turn 12 and maintains the position for now. Good battling those two. As we come around the final corner, it's Katamis in the gravel again. It looks like he'll get jumped by the Visa car of Regan McKinnon. Timo looking to make another overtake on Hot Stepper. Step on up into P7 for the Sauber. As Gunnar having a look as well. Oh, it's very tight. Just a little clip of the Red Bull. But it's, I think it's just about legal, that one. And up to P8 as well for Gunnar. Katamis, what's happened to the Pratt Cat? I think he's hit the wall and he's retired for today. The cat is dead. Dan Morris coming out of the pits, going onto the hard tyres. Struggling with traction on those mediums. So Capsock has pulled away from Brutus. And was that a mistake from the Visa Carb? Or is Capsock just absolutely flying? Incredible pace from the Alpine. As he closes up on Katamiz's ghost car. And all the while Brutus, falling away from Capsock, is coming to the clutches of Senna. And actually, the likes of Jack Daniels and Benedict are closing on Senna. So this battle for the podium is concertinaing like a harpsichord. And I'm the monkey dancing. And I can't say who's going to be on the podium at the end of this race. 3 seconds. Brutus to Jack Daniels, who's pulling Benedict along with him. Benja in a bit of no man's land at the moment. Just needs to focus on his own race. Just pump those laps in. You have to say, though, Jack Daniels at the moment on a good stint on those hard tyres and is closing in on his teammate. Are these medium tyres just coming near the end of their life now? As they've just completed 8 laps. As I said, it is an abrasive surface here that absolutely wreaks havoc on your tyres. And maybe Brutus is struggling after pushing hard. Stepper off those soft tyres, as well as Josh. To be fair, these soft tyres have gone longer than I expected. Jax is caught up to his teammate. Dispatch Benedict for now. Will we see a switch back of teammates as Brutus has completely cut his dispatch from Capsock? He's not got damaged wings, so it must be just tyre wear that he's struggling with. And this is a battle for P2 between potentially 4 cars. We've got a yellow flag. It's the other Haas of Gunnar. He lost control coming around turn 7. Loses that place to Deesing. Div 2 boys switching positions. Deesing now to P8. An absolutely valiant drive from the standing Mercedes. Michael would be proud. Where's Michael? We here now have a battle for a P2. And if they do squabble, Benedict will join the party. He's a couple of seconds away though. But this is a fine drive from Capsock. Got it. I know, like I said, I know the big boys are not here, but he's absolutely flying. Bumper car. Then past Magel with DRS down at the first corner. Up to P10. Oh, it's another yellow flag. It's the Alpine Alina Zuken. Not having a good day today. Oh, he's not going to be in the way, is he? Oh, just out of the way of Stepper as he goes past after pitting. In the gravel once again. It could be worse. He could be a Tottenham fan. Jack Daniels getting past his teammate with DRS. And will be on better tyres at this stage of the race. Between them, they're just slightly attached as Dan Morris past Regan McGinnon's ghost car. Somehow done 10 laps on these tyres. Capsock, Brutus. Capsock will win for the elite. Brutus will win for the platinum division. But it's going to be to the wire. As I said, any of these top 5 can be on the podium. Let's hope no crazy track limit penalties makes a decision for them. Around turn 7, you can see how tight that turn 7 is on board. You've got to carry speed through that corner and then put your foot on the throttle to climb uphill and gather speed through turn 9. And it's so difficult to keep that traction going, especially as you're near the end of the stint of tyres. That's Capstock then pitting. Oh, you're skidding more than shit in me pants. I thought he was going to get one of those infamous Italian hands, and it's not like one of those hands from Scary Movie. This is my good hand. I'm just going to throw in the mashed potatoes. It's actually Italian. Had it flown in from Sicily. Capstock looks like he's come out just ahead of Gunnar, and that would be a relief onto the hard tyres. He won't be able to get to the end on these, so it is a 2-stopper then we're seeing, as Linazukin in the pits as well. Capstock P8 and has a comfortable gap forming behind Gunnar. But we not want to get caught in traffic. He's pitted early, trying to do a bit of an undercut. So we see the Aston Martins again. Oh, little snapper, loss of the rear traction again from Senna. Managed to keep control of his car and keep that DRS. That could have gone so much worse. Brutus in. And we've got a crashed car. Benja lost control of his car before entering the pits, and that's a shame. He's running so well in the Williams. Team Egg representing in Div 1 and Div 2 today. Brutus comes out and has ended up behind Gunnar. Not what he wanted. Bumper car Ben in the pits as well, getting off those mediums onto some fresh mediums, so definitely a 2-stopper for the Sauber. Should come out just ahead of Dan Morris. Dan on those hard tyres, doing a warm-up for the next race. Cuts turn 2. Don't do that, my friend. Brutus here stuck behind Gunnar, but will have a dose of DRS, so should be able to make the overtake down to turn 10. As Capstock past D-Sing and Brutus on the outside. Oh, Gunnar. I thought he'd gone. So Jax on the alternate strategy, of course, carries on, but the 3 behind him all pit. Capstock back up to P2 then, 14 seconds behind Jax Daniels. Will Jax try and do a 1-stop and go as long as he can on these hards? That'll be an interesting strategy. Alpine of Linazukin again. Guy's struggling on the outside. He's cutting a massive corner. He's not going to get a big penalty there, surely. The game can give it sometimes. Silly sausage. Gunnar's in the pits now finally, but Jax, is he going to try and do a 1-stop? It's a 22.2 second pit stop. And yeah, if he can gain a pit stop, be quite an advantage. But I can imagine it's going to be quite difficult. He's got to go, I suppose if he goes maybe like 18 laps, try the 1-stop. And then Linazukin's retired. He's had enough. He's spun more than a teacup ride. But thank you for retiring. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for retiring in the pits. You see Capstock is gaining every corner on Jax, so it'll be interesting to see where the strategies lie here. Senna on Magel, who's yet to pit, who started on the hard tyres on the inside, turn 1. Easy overtake. Will the Red Bull try and follow through as well? And does. Magel doesn't fight too hard. Knows he's on a different strategy. It's a different battle. And 5th and 6th now for Senna and Benedict. Senna almost 6 seconds behind Brutus, so has lost out on the pit stops after pitting a lap later. So what this is showing is the undercut is quite powerful, but will come to them with the tyre offset advantage later in the race. And it'll be interesting to see where Jack Daniels comes out after his pit stop. We're almost halfway through this race already. And I could not tell you who's going to be doing what. D-Sing running in P3, still yet to pit as well. Got Brutus in his gearbox, and this should be an easy enough overtake for the Visa Carb. Stuck to him like cling film on a freshly roasted ham all the way around the final corner, and was made that overtake easy as pie. Some car Ben on the softer compound. Oh, goes deep on the final corner. That would have got himself a nice little warning. Oh, McLaren and Dan Morris lost control coming around turn 11. And he's on the curbs. Managed to keep his car going, but his tyres will be hot. It's not easy keeping it on track, it seems. It was St. Patrick's Day yesterday. He's got no luck of the Irish today. Let's keep one eye on Regan McKinnon behind. Or Regan McKinnon's car. Brutus liking these hard tyres at the moment, and he's closing the gap slightly to Caps Lock. There's no pressure of any cars battling or trying to close in on him. He's D-Sing on the older tyres. And 2.8 seconds. Dan Morris again coming out of turn 4. Amount of cars going up. I'm surprised we haven't seen a safety car, or at least a VSC. They are quite low chance of coming out on this track, unless there was a big smash. Big smash. Big Train. Anyone that remembers Big Train? Classic comedy. They don't do that stuff like that anymore. Net noob. Benedict. Dan Morris, he's not having a good time at the moment. Senna not able to shake off Benedict as yet. Both on a similar strategy. There's Timo overtaking Magel at turn 10. Great overtake from the Sauber. Like he's got himself settled for his first outing for Lights Out. He's doing a great job. And Dan Morris into the pits and retiring. And has called it a day for the Div 1 practice. 14 drivers left of the 17. And yeah, I was going to say earlier, it's a big shout out. Liverpool 1-0 against Galatasaray. Big goal, that one. Bayern Munich 1-0. They're through anyway. No doubt, no doubt. And Brutus still just slowly closing the gap. 2.5 seconds now to Caps Lock, and Caps Lock's charge on Jack Daniels was just slightly tapered a little bit. I believe Jack Daniels is going for the one stopper. He's in now. Oh, that would have been hilarious if he got that 10 seconds. You would never hear the end of it as Caps Lock goes through and takes the lead of the race once more. D-Sing as well, following Jack Daniels' straight strategy. Always looks quite tense when they're going in. So Jack Daniels will come out in a comfortable P5. Meagle in 2. Got a good 3 seconds too. The battle for P3 ahead of him on the mediums, and looks like it's going to go to the end on these tyres. Come out behind his teammate and ahead of Regan. Dan reckons Div 2 is going to be some race. He's spun 10 times. I'm glad you were counting. I couldn't keep up. And says a 0 grip on the trick. Oh my God. I swear English is my first language. There's 0 grip on the track. 2.8 seconds gap to Brutus in P2 for Caps Lock, so you can see him in his rear view mirror, but he's not close enough to make any sort of contest as of yet. Benedict just within DRS, and Jack Daniels closing in. Can see his teammate and the Red Bull just ahead of him, and we'll expect them to have quite a squabble. Senna doing a very good defensive job here. Benedict just not able to get any closer than the late DRS range, and you need to be about within a half a second on the final corner to be able to make the overtake down the start-finish straight. And just following that dirty air, it's just not finding it easy, especially through this middle sector of closing in on the Aston Martin. And all the while, in the dirty air, damaging his tyres. He's best just dropping back slightly, keeping pace with Senna, and then closing in the latter stages. But he is the filling of an Aston Martin sandwich, as Jack Daniels on the median compound is closing in. Like a shark surveying his prey. Apart from he's got no teeth. So look down to see Gunnar and Josh, Div 2 rivals, having a great battle here for P9. Bumper car will have DRS on the Ferrari. Will he be close enough to make an overtake down at the turn 1 apex? Oh, Josh tries to go on the defence, does a switchback, slight collision between the two, and I'd have to say that's Bumper Car's error entering on the track on the inside of a corner. That was bound to happen. And it's damaged an end plate as well. Did Josh make a late move on defence? But the actual collision that caused him to turn around, I would say, would have been Bumper's fault of the point of re-entry onto the circuit. Luckily did not take Josh out in the process. So Benedict, yeah, just hanging back a bit for now on Senna. And you see Jack's just closing 10th at a time each lap. He's got another 12 laps, including this one too. What the? Tottenham 1-0? What the? No, they're not gonna. No, they're not gonna do it. No. Josh in the pits then. Getting on some fresh rubber onto the hards. A bit late for the hards, but maybe just trying out a couple of things for the Div 2 race. Oh no, I was going to say, I've tried to say it like a couple of times. Yeah, we've got quite a lot of Div 1 boys missing this week for numerous reasons, but we still managed to get 17 drivers on the grid for the final race of the season, where a lot of drivers don't have anything to play for, and it just shows how great this community is, and a great discord of drivers that want to race. are able to jump in and join us. So I do appreciate you all, and excited to see where we go moving forward. D-Sing on fresher tyres than Hot Stepper, just a couple of tenths outside DRS range. And yeah, as I was saying earlier on in the stream, obviously DRS is not going to be a factor on the game update in June. They're obviously going to change all the teams and all that sort of thing, but it'd be interesting to see how they implement all the new regulations and way of driving. How will they have overtake and battery and all that sort of thing. Some cars in the pits then, getting that fresh wing. Some fresh stuff, so potentially bragging rights for a fastest lap here, Bumper. As we jump back onto the front two, and under 2 seconds now, Brutus on the charge to Caps Lock. Caps Lock potentially doing a bit of tyre saving, fuel saving. But he'll have to notice the carb just closing in on him. As Jax Daniels has closed in on Benedict. Platinum driver with that extra little bit of speed at the moment. Hot Stepper into the pits on old hard tyres, and may put a set of mediums on maybe. Use all his softs within qualifying. Eagle goes through up to P10 after the pit stop, but we'll jump back on with Jax. One race here this season at Saudi Arabia, I do believe. It's got a couple of podiums since then, and just every season loves driving with drivers that are quicker, and gets himself, improves every single season. One of our admin members, of course. One of their head stewards. So if you're doing anything naughty, he'll come after you. He's closing in on Benedict, who's defending the inside of turn one. The side by side lock up from the Aston Martin, but brilliant overtake on the outside of turn one, leaving each other plenty of room, but had so much more traction on the outside. Benedict just had to slow his car to be able to turn in to avoid colliding with the Aston Martin. And yeah, Jax goes on through up to P4, and ended up with the better tyres as well. Senna on league debut. I think he'll be quite chuffed with the performance. Has some brilliant battles. Defended against Benedict. Held him off for several laps, and then it just could not hold on. So he has to keep an eye on his teammate. He'd love to finish ahead of him. They've raced with each other and competed against each other in another league. And always have that quiet rivalry. Although they're on the same teams today, there will be that quiet rivalry, and you can see in his rear view, 2.5 seconds behind now, Jax Daniels. He's got a good 8 laps or so to try and beat Senna. And what's more interesting is Brutus is closed here on Clapstock now for the lead of this race, and potentially the race win. As they're climbing up to turn 8, flinging their cars around turn 9. And as Brutus just charging, it was Clapstock just harvesting energy. Just retaining tyre wear on a track that's so difficult, as I mentioned. 2.2 seconds now, Jax pulling Benedict along with him. Benedict just trying to stay with the Aston Martin once again. I bet he's sick of the sight of back of the the racing green. Should get a dose of DRS again. Keep him within touch as Brutus retakes the lead of the race. No, they're not. They're side by side through the first couple of corners. It's very difficult to be side by side through turn 3. Capstock trying to hold the outside, but Brutus has that extra traction on the inside and takes the lead of the race again. The pole sitter locks up though, almost loses control of his car, and Capstock is all over him like a rash. So go downhill through the middle sector. You see both pushing hard actually, with their lights constantly flashing, using lots of their energy. We of course don't have the telemetry on screen for those that watch the stream. It just gives a slight advantage to them. So Benedict's still here with Jack Daniels under 2 seconds now. These two closing in. Bumper car unable to set that fastest lap on those soft tyres. Unfortunately gets himself a track limits penalty. Can be quite difficult, especially round turn 7 and 8. Benedict still struggling. Red Bull, who will be crowned Div 2 Constructors Champions. So a double title here for Benedict on his Div 1 debut. Of course, will get promoted up to the Platinum Division after winning his title. And we had to push himself even further. And he's racing Jack Daniels, the current Elite Championship holder. 2 champions battling on track. You love to see it. And while they are doing so, it just remains a comfortable position here for Senna, who just gets his head down, and he'll have himself a podium on debut. Caps Lock currently running in P2, held that P1 for a long while, but Brutus is closed back. Has DRS, but it's not close enough to overtake yet. The Alpine needs to stay in touch. He's still got another 5 laps or so on these tyres, so it's going to be a struggle to the end. A few drivers have shown, and those Div 2 boys that are watching, at one stop it is possible if you look after your tyres. On these soft tyres, it will find it very difficult the last couple of laps. Having a slight different race today than his teammate. We've got a gaggle of Div 2 drivers all just getting themselves a few laps under the belt, ready for Div 2, which again join us in around 20-25 minutes time, as we'll have some championships to decide. We've got the likes of, I think for the Div 2 title and the professional championship, tier championship, Benji, Terry and Lennon all within a shout. And challenger with Regan, McKinnon and Guna going for that title. There's 4 points in it for the Challenger Championship. No wonder Goon has joined us for, and Regan both joined us for the title. I hope Regan McKinnon's car does not glitch out in the Div 2 race. Make sure you sort your internet out, Regan, or whatever the issue is. If you're using Wi-Fi, use a wired internet, Ethernet cable. Make sure it's solid. Do not want you to lose a title based on technical issues. 1.3 seconds now, Jax to his teammate, and still pulling Benedict along, so this final podium position is up for grabs. It could be any one of these three, and it's going to go down to the wire. Where's Idris Elba? Was he in the wire? I never watched it. If anyone's watched the wire, let me know. Just my own thoughts. Benedict's had a wobble though. Either that or Jack Daniels had a burst of speed. He's under half a second behind his teammate. And this is going to be a battle to the end for that final podium position. And as I mentioned, it's going to be for bragging rights. We've got a battle here for P1, a battle for P3. And Benedict picks himself a track limits, which I mentioned earlier. You don't want that to make a say in who's going to be on the podium, but now Benedict will have a hard time getting himself on the steps. That's Hot Stepper and Magel exchange positions. Hot Stepper, brilliant overtake the Red Bull on Magel up to P10. As we see the Aston Martin switch positions at turn 10. Jack Daniels up to P3 now, and they fell into the clutches of the Red Bull. And it's like I said, we'll have the 3 seconds, so we'll try and battle to finish high as possible, but won't be on the podium. Jack's just too far ahead of his teammate on the penultimate lap. A car's length there between the front two. Been a brilliant drive between Brutus and Caps Lock. Yellow flag, it's a Ferrari of Josh. Just lost it going out of turn 9. And managed to keep his car running. He's listening to Arcade Fire. A little snap, I thought, from Brutus. You can see how hard they're pushing. There's only not even a handful of opportunities left for Caps Lock to make an overtake. As Jack's still holding on to that P3. He's going to have 1 lap left to defend. But we'll keep an eye on these front two for the final lap of the final race of season 30. Caps Lock's got his DRS open. Brutus will be using as much of his ERS as possible. And he's managed to keep that position for now. Jack Daniels defending the team at centre, takes a look at the inside of turn 1. But again, he's not close enough to make a move yet. Will they try and take an opportunity later on in the lap? The cars ahead will be defending as much as possible. Slight different line between the front two round turn 4. Better exit out of there as Benedict on the outside of the 2 Aston Martins. That's brave from the Red Bull. What's the Red Bull doing? This is crazy talk. Managed to get past Senna with a brilliant move going around turn 4. Caps Lock not able to make an overtake at turn 10 either. Let's keep an eye on these as Benedict's still behind Jack Daniels. Jack's defending the inside of turn 10. Caps Lock not making any closer movements towards Brutus as they come around the final corner. It looks like it's going to be, and it will be, the Visa Carb of Brutus Beer that takes home the race win in here in Spain, and will take the Visa Carb Championship, overall championship. Caps Lock P2, Jack Daniels come home P3. Brilliant drive, centre P4 on debut. That's jumps Benedict on penalties. Timo will come home P6. Again, a fantastic drive from the Sauber on debut, especially in a Div 1 tier. D Singh comes home P7. I think he'll be well happy with that, preparing for the Div 2 race. Some brilliant moves from him. Guna, good laps for him as he goes in for his title fight in Div 2. P8, Benja P9, jumps Guna on penalties, so we'll take that P8. Esteban comes home P10. And Magel, the second half of Team Egg, P11. And Josh, who seemed to have that moment a couple of laps ago, will come home P12. And his crossing the line in style for Div 1 for the final time this season. As we wait. As we wait. Oh, he's dancing, he's up, skipping and jumping in his girly outfit. It's Brutus Beer. He's got ants in his pants. Hot stepper with his first points, he's happy. Congratulations, my friend. You always get points when you finish. But good, congratulations. Celebrate with your castanets and your sangria in Barcelona. Brutus Beer with the race winner. Regan McKinnon taking over the fastest lap somehow. Driver of the day is given to D Singh. I be one of the contenders. I think everyone gets driver of the day today. Some brilliant driving from everybody on show. Brutus coming home with his first race win of the season. I think he'll be very well deserved. He's been up there with the quick boy. Capstock coming home P2, just so close. Jack Daniels with the final podium position. Senna P4 on debut. Benedict P5. He's won his championships. Timo P6 on debut. Brilliant drive from P9. C Singh 7th. Benja Guna Hot Stepper. Magel Josh Regan McKinnon with the fastest lap 1:05.9. Bumper Dan Lenzuken and Katamise all retiring from the race. As I said, we're joining Div 2 in about 15 minutes or so time, so join us back very soon if you want to see the Div 1 boys again. Join us for season 31, which I believe is starting in a couple of weeks on April the 1st. No, it's not. I'm not joking. It's in the evening, not in the morning. There's no April Fools. But thank you for joining us all season. It's been absolutely fantastic. We'll see you very soon. My name's Alex. This is Lights Out League Racing. Peace out.